Here's to a new day. If you're checking out this video, you must be a resilient leader, or you're at a point where you're like, I have to change the way that I'm doing things to become a more resilient leader. And I'm so glad you're here. My name is Elena Ayo. I am a design and wellness strategist, and also the founder of Infold Studios. And I have a passion for supporting organizations with their employee and customer experiences. I've spent a decade doing that at places like IBM and Cisco. And I also have a passion for assisting leaders with their own experience design. And so I take all the things that I've learned from service design, design thinking, all of it, and I put it together with my background in mindfulness and create experiments to support you in your expansion. Thank you for joining me here today in The Resilient Leader. I've been doing a series called Stop Reacting, Start Leading. This is about the leader's time and energy guide. And my big question for you today is, hey, are you a deep well or an empty cup? So we're going to have a little bit of an energy audit today. So get comfortable, grab your tea, and let's chat for a bit. All right. So first question, does your calendar control you, or do you control it? Yeah. Be honest. Be honest. Because the honesty is going to support you in taking the steps that come to you as you're listening to the rest of this video. And so I have a video right before this that I've recorded all about deep listening. You can check the description for the link to that. As a quick review, the deep listening was about observing the person you're interacting with or the situation like it's a mountain, and allow yourself to observe and be aware and non-reactive. And then you're going to go internally, and because you've been listening to understand, check in with what you're feeling, what's going on inside of you. And then you move to the executive intuition. Yes, what is your intuition saying? And from that place, you respond. So from understanding to feeling and sensing, and then deep in your intuition and responding from that place. So heavily focused on intentional pauses so that you can no longer be reactionary and you're being a more thoughtful leader. All right. So now that you have all this new data, because knowledge is power, you're now going to be focused in this video on thinking about how are we going to actually use this power? How are we going to focus it? It's really important to sustain impact inside of your organization, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're an intrapreneur and you're inside of an organization. It's really important to understand your time and energy management. And so we're going to take you to a place from energy depletion to energy generation. And first, it all starts with understanding where you are. So there's two things you can do. You can either just be really honest as I speak through this, or you could take a quick break, go over to LinkedIn. I have a link in the bio, in the description, and it will take you to my Resilient Leader newsletter. I have over 150 subscribers already. I would love to have you as an additional one. This is how you are going to get it directly in your spot where you're already thinking about leadership. LinkedIn, get all the newest issues coming from me, Elena Ayo. And so go on over there, because inside of that article, you will find the full leadership focus quiz. For this video, for time's sake, I'm going to focus on the very first question as a way that you understand your behavioral tendencies related to time, energy, focus, decision making. All right, so here's the first scenario you're probably very familiar with. When a last minute urgent request lands in your lap from a stakeholder, your first internal thought is to A, I have to drop everything and handle this now. B, let me check my priorities and see if I can fit this in. C, I need to understand the real why behind this urgency before it reshapes my day? So we're going to go through each of those answers. If you make a note to yourself, do you think you would say A, B, or C? Be honest. Once again, this is for your good. All right. So if you answered A, most likely you are a self sacrificing leader. And this is a leader that has a style that puts yourself last. Most likely, you came up in your early career in a workplace culture that didn't have much work life balance, and you spent a lot of yourself giving this eternal commitment to the organization, to others. Weekends off, what's that? Um, you were more focused on getting things done by any means necessary. And by doing that, you're compromising your self worth, you're compromising your mindset, and you're putting yourself in a place where you're not going to be that strategic leader that you could be. And you see compromise most likely not as a thing that is operating within boundaries. It's I will do anything to help people by any means necessary. So this is taking away from your strategic vision. And it's also impacting your personal resilience. It's probably dissolving away like that antacid that you take to make it through your corporate indigestion every day. Um, so this is the lowest level of power. That's what's really important for you to realize is that you don't have a lot of power from self-sacrifice, and you're also not in a place of expansive leadership capacity, expansive leadership agency. And so by always having this deficit or running on E, you are about to crash at the end of each workday and the end of each week, and you're not able to be the resilient leader that you could be. Go ahead and check out the reflection questions that I have in the article on LinkedIn. Remember, the link is in the description to the Resilient Leader newsletter, and answer those questions, okay? Take that time and connect with yourself. Now, if you answered B and you said, oh, let me check my priorities and see if and when I can fit this in, most likely you are the self-centered leader. So you have been through too many years of time and energy sacrifice. And you said, oh no, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to be able to have all of my compromises focused on my well-being. I'm going to be intelligently prioritizing. As my good friend Dr. Oliver Moreno says, compromise isn't about loss. It's a mixture of self-compassion and intelligent prioritization. And so kudos to you for making changes in your life to prioritize your well-being, and for you to realize that the organization is better when I feel better. All right, you out there like a little Brita picture, okay? You are filtering through all the things that are coming in your inbox. You're saying no, and you are acting selectively. So you are protecting your bandwidth, and you are maintaining your impact. This is a healthy level of power. You are able to have a capacity for leadership and agency, and you have enough reserves to come across these challenges and still have some strength. The thing I want to push on you to experiment and try, self-centered leader, is the next time you're inside of a beginning of a new project or negotiation, is there a ritual or assumption that you may need to change to create a better collective outcome? Think about it. Take a moment. All right. Now, the C answer was all focused on understanding I need to know the why behind this urgency before I reshape my whole day. If that was your answer, dun, 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 you are the self-focused leader. This is the leader that gives from the seat of overflow. Okay? You are investing in yourself as your primary strategic asset, and you understand the magic of change. Dr. Moreno also said, magic is the change of the self. If you are looking for magic in your life, look at what you can change in your behavior and what you do. If you haven't read James Clear, Atomic Habits, now may be the time so that you can do a deep assessment of your habits to stay even sharper and on this self-focused level. So you are a person that has a commitment to growth. So that's why I'm recommending a book to you, because you understand the power that is inside of self-preservation. As Audre Lorde said, caring for myself is not self-indulgence. It is self-preservation, and it is an act of political warfare. And so, yes, there's a lot going on in these political times, and you already know it's really that corporate political warfare that's pummeling and maybe impacting you from day to day. And so, allowing yourself to realize once again, over and over again, me caring for myself, creating space for myself, making sure that my 8 hours a day work habits are promoting my sense of self and my wellness, you're going to continue to win. Because as recent research has said, anyone that works over 55 hours a week is 1.7% times more likely, 1.7 times more likely to have more depression and anxiety. And that's going to do nothing but slow down your impact. And there's not going to be a way for you to be empowering to others. So get your rest. Allow yourself to continue to pour into your cup. Be very strategic with how you deal with yourself, because you are, yes, your top strategic asset. See yourself as a well. That's where this analogy comes from the title. As a well, you're either storing up and preserving your reserves, or you're pouring into yourself and filling up your reserves. When you are a well that is overflowing, you're able to support the system of your organization from your overflow, from what you are offering up naturally, not this efforting pouring. So continue to think systematically about how your stability is linked to the health of your organizational system. So I have a more deep, in-depth audit that you can do of yourself that is inside of that article on LinkedIn. Be sure to check out The Resilient Leader. And while you're there, subscribe to this Infold Studios page, because this is where I share more information for supporting you in becoming a more resilient leader. And also go over to that article, because I have some upcoming in-person events and virtual events. I would love to get you on my priority list. And so check out the article so that you can go deeper and learn more. And the last thing I'd like to share is that if you're interested in having a more resilient journey day by day, check out my journal. My journal is all about helping you get unstuck and evolving your life by creating your own systems, your own practices through running experiments. It puts together design thinking and agile and mindfulness in a very easy this is actually my personal one, so that's why I didn't flip it open so fast. A very easy and digestible journal that has daily check-ins and weekly retrospectives with yourself. So check out Relax and Remix. The link is in the description, and you can also just go to infoldstudios.com. I'm so happy that you made it to this video, and I really hope you think about sharing it with someone that you know needs to have better boundaries and stronger resilience inside of their leadership journey. My name is Elena Ayo, and I will see you next time. Be well and continue to be kind to yourself. I'll see you next time.